I just ordered this morning. Hopefully you can see that. That is a 100 Newton jet turbine. It's quite a small thing, like it's about the size of, let me think, I don't know, like two of my fists put together. 1, 2. It's about that size. Not cheap, a couple of $1,000, plus all the electronics and stuff to run it. Around about 2 weeks until it arrives, I think. The other thing I've done is I have ordered, I thought the trucks, the trucks are the, that's the thing that holds, that's the thing that goes between the wheels and the board on a skateboard. That's the thing that basically does the steering and attaches the wheels to the board. Now I thought, well, I need to get braked trucks, like, because if you're strapping a jet to a skateboard, you want to be able to slow down. So I searched for like skateboard brakes, and there's one company that does the brakes, or does any brakes for a skateboard. And so I contacted the guy that did that. He actually has done 2 Kickstarter campaigns for these things, which is amazing. And fingers crossed, he's getting back to me and will donate those trucks to this project. And of course, I'll tell the world how great they are, if they are great. If this works for slowing me down on my jet powered skateboard, that's awesome for me and it's awesome for him. So I'm at the stage where I'm having to figure out, the logistics, sort of the plan of attack for putting this turbine on the skateboard. So what I'll do is I'll run by a couple of things with you, trusty whiteboard, and so I'll let you know some of the problems that I'm up against so far. So the first thing, a skateboard from the side typically looks like that. That's a normal skateboard, but what I'll be using is a longboard, which typically looks like a bit of a tail. Typically looks like that. Longer, lower. Now there's another type of skateboard you get, which I think is going to be the best option, and it goes something like this. I can't remember what they call it, like a drop away or something like that. So it looks something like that, and I think that's going to be the best option, because, how to explain this? There's a few issues. One is I've got to have a fuel tank. Oh, these things burn through fuel like you cannot imagine. Like, what is it? Like, you go through a liter of fuel in like 4 minutes. A liter of fuel in 4 minutes. That's like a liter in 4 minutes. 4, 10. That's like 15 liters an hour. That's a lot for such a tiny thing. Anyway, so I need it to hold, my estimate is I want to get 5 or 10 minutes out of it, so let's make it hold 2 liters. Now my initial thought was perhaps the fuel, perhaps I could have the fuel tank as part of the skateboard, like something like that, with the hose feeding up to the turbine. But a little bit clunky, I'm not sure about that. And now here's the other problem. Let's say we're looking at the back. Let's say we're looking towards the back of the skateboard. We have the wheels, they look like this. The skateboard board is going to be there. Now, if the turbine, so we'll have this going up there. If the turbine is going to be in the center, then it's a bit of a problem, because let's say we're looking down on the board, and the board looks like that, and the turbine is here. If this is the turbine, power coming out the back, then my foot is going to be there. So, and my leg would therefore basically be there, and it's going to either block the air getting sucked into the turbine, or my leg is going to go into it. I don't know how the draw of the turbine is, we'll have to see. So what I'm thinking is, let's redraw the back of the skateboard, like that. Board there. Now, I'm thinking we can offset the turbine there. It'll be bigger than that really. And we can put a round fuel tank there. So looking down on it, we can get rid of that turbine. There. We can put the turbine here. We can put a fuel tank there. Hose going into there. I don't think offsetting the turbine will be much of an issue. I think it will be okay. Like, it's not gonna go around in circles or anything. I just don't think that's how it's gonna work. So, a nice polished tank next to it will be okay. There should be plenty of room for electronics. Quite a few things to work through and think about. So that's what but I'm still thinking maybe I should just put I can put the tank integrated there, but we'll see. One more thing, the other benefit of having this type of skateboard, what I think it's called a drop away or whatever you call it, is that let's say we use this type of board and the turbine is there. Like my foot, my shoe would be up to here, and my leg would be there. It blocks it, but if we use this one, my shoe would be here. There's more area here for for air to go in, more sort of volume, like less chance of air being blocked for going into the turbine. I don't know how much of an issue it is, but you just have to see. One more thing is that about a year ago I sent an email out to my, to basically my list of customers, to everyone, like, I don't know, a few thousand people. I said, hey, look, you know about me, I don't know about you, tell me your story. And I got like well over 200 people replying, tell me their story, and I replied back to them. It was, I'd spent dozens of hours replying back to them, but it was fascinating. And one of the guys there was an honest to goodness aerospace engineer. And we had a bit of a discussion about, when a 1 hour flight from New York to London is going to happen, and it was very interesting. And so I actually asked him recently, I think I asked him last night or the night before, I can't remember, last night, and I said, look, I'm making a jet powered skateboard, can you help me out? And he got back to me and he gave me just everything I needed. Like I said earlier, I've just bought a 100 Newton thrust skateboard, which is like 10 kilograms of thrust, or about 22 pounds of thrust. I'll explain more about that in a future video. But he helped me he basically did the calculations for me and helped me get to that's pretty much what I'd need for this project. Like, it's not too much, not too little. It's kind of like the Goldilocks of turbines in terms of power. And he gave me a whole lot of other good information, and just unbelievable. So I'll go into that, in a future video, how the calculations come about, air resistance, wind resistance, friction, things like that, because it's fascinating. And this isn't as sort of crazy as you think. I'm taking a measured, reasonable approach with calculations and things. So yes, going pretty well so far. This is the first video.